Okay, so this is the Rubble Master. It's currently sitting up on a dolly. We pulled it with a tractor here at the front. There is a safety chain, brakes and lights. And we go around, so the rubble will be thrown in here as big blocks, come up the conveyor belt, fall down. There's a 4-hammer spinning around. It'll get crushed and come out the tail. It'll come out as smaller stone. There's a magnet here at the top to take away the metal if you throw in rebar. It doesn't like rebar, just throw a small amount in. Obviously, like, you're being selective what you're throwing in. Yep, that's it. It loves slag. If you can throw slag into it or field stones, anything like that, fantastic. Try keep it at all the same consistency. Up here we have 2 big springs. So if the big piece goes into the hammer, there's a bit of give in it. And there's a nut here in the center which actually sets the thickness or the size of how big the crushed material is coming out here at the tail. The tail is currently in its transporting stage, so that'll actually go in further. And when you're ready to operate it, there's a handle. There's chains here, but there's a handle on the opposite side, and it'll actually lift it up to roughly just underneath this magnet here. To service it, there's a pump here. So you undo a series of nuts and bolts the whole way around here. Then you have a bar and you pump it like mad, and the whole front, or the whole back of it I should say, will actually pivot out this way, and it'll expose the 4 hammers that are inside. So it makes changing the hammers very easy, well, within reason. So there's water suppression on this as well. Okay, coming into the engine, it's a Deutz engine, and yeah, that's the engine, that's the electric generator. So the engine is actually turning a flywheel and a series of belts, and it's all electrically done as well by the electric generator. It's starting on 2 batteries. The batteries are in parallel. So the front left is negative, the back left terminal is positive. On the right hand side, the front is positive and the back is negative. These are the 2 filters. This one here is engine oil. That's the filter code on it. That's the diesel one. This is a small filter. To prime the system, you come at this side, you can pump it there. And especially if you change the filters, I think I wrote it there, it takes about 30 pumps, so loads of exercise. And you'll see it there in the glass bowl. If there's any sediment, time to clean it. I have this removed. You can do the 4 at the bottom. You don't actually need to do the 4 at the top, and that will slide out. The batteries are on a tray, so you just pull the whole tray out to change the batteries or recharge them. If you are charging them at 12 volt, you disconnect it here and disconnect it here, and then you can charge the front battery and do the same with the back battery. That's the radiator. Always check the radiator for coolant before starting. That's the dipstick there. Obviously you always check the oil level as well. And we'll go around to the other side and we'll have a look at what else is back there. So these are big doors. You can swing the whole door around and close it, or you can open it, and that's that. Okay, let's that's exhaust obviously. Let's go around to the opposite side. That's the magic box. Don't open it. That's where 3-phase lives. Here we are on the opposite side. It's pretty much a mirror image of the previous side. So this is the starting box. That's the handle just down there. That's for pulling up or down this thing here. It's running on chains which are like a sprocket. So that's how you can lift it up and down. Here is the starting box. So you have the main clutch. What's that one say? Discharge belt. So that's the discharge belt here. You have the intake, which is just up here. You have water pump, which is the water suppression, and you have the magnet, which is this one here. This one here is the reverse. So the intake, if a really big piece went in, you can actually reverse it. And we have the quick emergency stop. There's one here, and there's actually one on the far side as well. I think it's roughly somewhere about here on the opposite side. Behind this door here, nothing special, just a series of belts. We'll have a look at in behind this door here. Coming from the front, we have 2 gauges here. We have your diesel and your diesel gauge, and we have where the water will go in, and then I think you have your output here as well. So you can either fill it here or you can fill it on the opposite side, and this is an out. Here we are on the opposite side to the engine. The engine's on the far side. This is the box, so if you trip a trip switch, you can open it here, or you can reset them here. And behind that there's a lot of wires. Let's not go in there. This is the clutch. I'll show a picture of what oil to put in it now. This is the oil that goes in the clutch of the Rubble Master. Okay, so that's what oil you put into it. This is a bung. It's a nylon bung. For the love of God, do not put a steel bung in there. Do not use any other oil than the oil I showed, and you will keep it roughly about there, and at 1 o'clock you fill it, so there's a little small bit of an air gap there at the top, and that's it. You just fill it with oil. If a big stone goes in and blocks the main drum, this will instantly stop turning. It'll boil the oil inside it and it'll blow out the bung here. It's a very simple little bung. You can get them made up on a lathe. They're a simple thread, nothing very special about it. Just when you're making it, you then drill the inside, so there's probably only maybe what, 5-10 mil. So it's not like if you're putting in something like this thick, obviously drill it down so there's only a hole at the bottom inside. So just in the right center of it, just drill a little hole, and then obviously then it only has to blow out that much rather than that much. Air filter up there, nothing that interesting. There's 2 belts behind all of this again that turn the electric generator, and then you have your idler here that which sets the tension on the belts. There's 4 belts. That's really it. So I think we're going to start it, and I'll show you the starting procedure. So here we are at the cabinet door. I've written in it, that's the type of oil. You use 4.8 litres of the oil, and you keep the bung here at 1 o'clock. Use nylon bung, do not use steel. So now you know. So starting procedure, turn it on, the lights flash, usually happy face is all good. We will disconnect the clutch. You can actually hear a bang going there. Okay, well the clutch is now disengaged, so the flywheel for the rubble crusher or for the drum will not start. So we can operate these, but we can't have the intake, and the drum will not work. Turn the key. Start the first turn of the key. We press this one here. I think I can get the magnet to go as well. Okay, I've turned off the engine so you can hear me. So when you first start it, and you haven't started for a while, so the starting procedure is turn on ignition, disconnect the clutch, you wait your 10 or 15 seconds, you'll hear it go woo, pop, and that's basically the clutch disengaged. The red light is on, it's already done. Then you can start the engine, you turn on the discharge, which is this one here, so if there's any dirt build-up, it'll be taken away. So you make sure that the inside of the machine is actually clean and clear. Then when it's clear, we can turn off the engine again. Now we're going to start for real. We'll turn on. The lights here flash, they do flash. All happy out. So we're going to engage the clutch this time. You can kind of hear a bang and a squeal. That's it now engaged. And now we can start the engine. So now with the clutch engaged, let's just pretend we are starting the engine. So now the engine's running. Now what we can do is turn on the discharge belt, which will be this one here. Now that'll be running. Now because the discharge is running, now we can turn on the intake. So the intake will turn on, which will be the fan here. You'll see it moving, and also the belt will just be going in. And from there we can actually set the speed if you want. Speed 1, speed 2, or speed 3. We just leave it in speed 1. The magnet is this one here, so you turn on that, the magnet will be turning around. And that's basically it. So then you just throw in your big blocks there at the back. It'll come up here, fall down into the crusher. You hear it go bang, 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 and it'll come out as very smaller stone. Come out here, and that's it. So here we are in the crow's nest, or this is what I call the crow's nest. So we're on top of the machine. This is where the intake is, so the excavator will throw the rubble in here. It'll make its way all the way up here on the conveyor belt. This is a cover here that's normally sitting closed here, just as an extra protection, but obviously for the video I've opened it. There's chains here to stop any debris if you are looking in at it coming up and hitting you. But behind I think there's 1 or 2 rows of chains. There's 2 rows, yeah. So behind all of that, way off down there, you'll see the hammers. So that's 1/4 of the hammers there, because obviously there's 4 of them. That's it. And there's the springs just for taking the shock. And there's a nut there that sets the coarseness, or how big or small the stones are. The crushed stone material is coming out of the discharge, which is just down there. To inspect the hammers, what you can do is undo the nut here, remove the inspection cover, and that will grant you access in to look at the hammers, so you can actually turn the hammers around and just check each of them. I don't think you can pull out the hammers this way. I think you do actually have to open up the whole back end of it. Obviously, yeah, you do have to undo all the nuts at this side and at the far side to make all of this rotate out. But that's it.